Welcome back to the channel, and this is episode 1 of the black R34 GTR Underside restoration. So this car's been in storage with us for a while now, belongs to a good friend of ours who you can find on Instagram, DCO Collection. It's got a collection of lovely cars. Been friends with Dan for a long time now, and like I say, this has been in storage for probably a year and a half, something like that. And Dan wants us to do an underside restoration. We do quite a few R34 GTR underside restos. We've not long finished this one here. We'll give you a quick glimpse of that on this video. We don't tend to really do episodes for the restos that we do because we just kind of get on with them. But speaking to Dan, we both agree we want to do a sort of series on this and show you from start to finish. So it's a nice spec car, but what we'll do, we're going to get this out of storage and up into the workshop. We're going to show you the underneath, and first job is remove some of the parts and then dry ice blasting. So we're going to show you sort of the initial processes, and then we'll do an episode, a few episodes going through showing various bits of the restoration process, and then obviously we'll show it you finished. We did do a R34 GTR sort of Nismo build, if you like, but there was no restoration process on that car. And like I say, the others, we've not really done full episodes throughout, just showing bits and bobs on our YouTube. So yeah, we're going to show you this from start to finish. So let's get it out of storage and into the workshop. So here's a little glimpse round an R34 that we did for a customer previously. This is Bayside Blue, quite a big spec car, running, I think it's around 800 horsepower from memory. Lots of nice adjustable arms, IKEA hardware, endless brake kit, etc, etc. This was a fairly sort of nice refresh, not a concourse car. The car does get used, and it does get driven properly when it does get used. That's what the car was built for. So this was just a sort of general tidy up, if you will, not a concourse show car, trailer queen. It's just a real nice usable example now. This went back to bare metal, and all the running gear was refreshed, all the zinc plating was redone, and as you can see, that now looks like a really, really nice usable example. And this is going to be much the same on the black car.
Morning, so a little update on the GTR. It's mainly stripped. All the running gear is off, which I'm now going to show you. And we are about to commence dry ice blasting to get all the underseal off. We do quite a lot of dry ice blasting. So what I'll do is I'll just show you how the car looks at the minute with all the underseal still in place, and then we'll show you some of the dry ice blasting. We'll probably wrap up episode 1 there once the dry ice blasting is done. But it's really good, the dry ice blasting. We do quite a lot of it. It's very, very good for low mileage cars that have got sort of original wax still in place, but it sort of gets a little bit grubby over the years. It's fantastic at cleaning that off without damaging, factory markings, factory stamp markings, QC markings, etc. So we'll just take a quick look at it now with all the underseal in place. It's very thick, so it'll take some doing, but yeah, let's spin you around and show you. So as you can see, like I say, it's very thick. Obviously not removed exhaust heat shields and things when they've done it. It's just been blasted all over. So yeah, you can see sort of around here how thick it is. Hopefully it's done its job. It looks pretty solid, to be fair, but we'll know more once we get all this off. If it looks like this all over, then it will be golden, but I dare say it won't in places. They've certainly not removed bits, so there's bits that have been missed. See, I think it is up in the arches as well, down the sills, rear panel, and they have removed the rear lights and done behind the rear lights, which is, it's probably a good thing they've done that. So yeah, it's very thick. Obviously some of this is like the textured finish, the factory textured finish. Makes it look a bit thicker than it is, but certainly around these sorts of places it is very thick. So that'll probably take a bit of work to get it off. Again in here, very thick, but hopefully that has preserved them. Front strut towers, but we'll see. Well, I think it's probably going to be fairly good under here. A little bit of work to do on the sills. We can see it's been jacked up on the sills, which is very common, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll get the dry ice blaster on the go, and the guys will get some footage of it being used. It's pretty impressive stuff. And see what we're left with at the end.
Good morning. We are now going to show you the R34 after dry icing. With this car having been in the UK for such a long time, we're a little bit unsure on what the condition was going to be like under all that underseal, we're actually pleasantly surprised. It's certainly done its job, so let's spin you around and show you the underside. So, obviously, the dry ice blaster takes off the underseal. Now, they're not normally strong enough to get off this sort of original textured finish that you tend to get on a lot of cars, but it can take some off. So we've managed to get it off the boot, which is good, because we like to get everything off so we know exactly what we're dealing with. It's not got everything off in the rear arches, so a bit of work to do there. But considering this car's been in the UK for so long, it's actually in very good condition. We've certainly seen a lot worse. In these arches are good. Like I say, a bit of work to do on these bits here. Boot floor is actually really good. Chassis rails look good. Got a little bit of spider webbing going on here. That's nothing, that's just sort of superficial, that is. And then we move down, so all the textured finish we've managed to get off along here. You can see again, a little bit of work to do along the sills, and the sills themselves need some work where people have jacked them up or jacked it up incorrectly. Same on the chassis legs. That always annoys me. I don't really get why people do it, but it is what it is. Obviously this is sort of out of shape here and at the back here. Same on this side. It's just poor jacking technique and placement. But yeah, it's mainly the sills that need a bit of work. Straighten these out, so we'll have to cut these open and redo these bits. Probably redo them stronger as we have done on various other ones in the past. Again, in here is nice. This is normally a real problematic area, is the front struts. Thankfully it had a lot of underseal in here, so it's definitely worked, because this car had clearly been out in the wet. I don't think it was like a wet weather car as such, but it had been out in the wet. Again, this side, very good. A little bit of repair work to do here. Again, it's just where something's pushed up against there. But the overall condition, very pleased, and really quite surprised. You know, we see a lot of cars that have been in the UK for a while and they're not in good shape once you start getting all the underseal off. So I was expecting a couple of little horrors on this, to be honest, but yeah, really good. You can see here the sill needs sorting, same on the other side. That's not unusual on an R34. So yeah, very pleased with that. This will sort of all now be by hand from here on in. So yeah, still a lot of work to do, but we've got a good base to start with, which is the main thing. So very pleased. That probably sort of finishes us off for this episode. And the next episode, you'll start seeing things come together. All the running gear and things, the underbody. So we'll take you through some of the processes, and you'll see things sort of come along and go from what they are now to what they're going to be. We've got some decisions to make with the owner, excuse me, with regards to sort of spec of various bits and oil cooler and all that sort of stuff. I think he's got some Nismo parts that we're going to put on here as well. I think we're changing the wheels, changing the wings, changing the brakes, various bits and bobs. So yeah, stay tuned, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you want to follow the journey of this or any of the other projects we've got going on, which we'll try and bring updates on. So yeah, see you on the next one. Cheers.